figure of 100,000 casualties in the Iraq War. Jack Straw, where's he now? Jeff Hoon, where's he? And Tony Blair told us that these numbers were false, impossible, and untrue. Shame on their lies. We now know that the civilian deaths in Iraq and in Afghanistan have been massively under-reported and under-recognised. A mountain of violence and torture growing thanks to the arrogance and delusion of a government, a Labour government, that prefers to support the killing of children instead of the building of hospitals and schools. This axis of Anglo-American imperialism extends its influence through war and conflict, gathering power and wealth as it goes, so millions of people are left to die in poverty and disease. The promises of the G8 at that charade in Gleneagles last year are ash in the caskets of global death. On Monday last week, I had the privilege of standing in New York with the Norwegian government and UNICEF to launch a new initiative to call the world's attention to the 10 million children whose lives are needlessly lost each year. Lives that the colonialist arm of this government is condemning and destroying through their policies of hate and oblivion. Where is the voice of justice? It lies with the souls of the children and women buried in the dust and debris of Lebanon. It lies with the children and women killed and mutilated by the cluster bombs that this British government showcases in one of the largest arms fairs every 2 years in London. The souls of justice lie with the mothers and fathers gunned down by and blown up in the sectarian violence that we initiated and continue to sustain. Cruelly silenced, you today stand and speak for those souls of our shattered human family. 150 years ago in this city, Elizabeth Gaskell wrote of the first long, far-off roll of the Tempest, the ominous gathering roar of the people dispossessed and excluded. That Tempest, that roar, has gathered here today in exceptional circumstances to create a new resistance against war. To say with confidence and resolution, Mr. Bush, Mr. Blair, there is a limit to your deception. We are the new resistance. Let that tempest start to roll. Let that roar begin to grow. It's time. Stop these wars.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, another appeal for Michael Murphy.